Welcome to the Divine Council. I am one of your hosts, Jameson, and I am here today with Astronite and Cayman, and we are going to be discussing the collectible card game known as Elestrals. How are you doing, guys?
I'm Astronaut. I am a finalist for Elestrals because I'm just going to rub that in as much as possible.
Yeah.
I've been playing Elestral since the very end of base set when I got my first top 8, which was amazing. Good old Spark at Thunder Nexus. I've been playing ever since. I've had, I believe, 4 years plus of playing Pokemon and 3 years of Yu-Gi-Oh until it got too expensive. And that is all of my card game experience, unless you count playing in the playground with Yu-Gi-Oh cards and not knowing any of the rules.
How about you, Cayman? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm Cayman. Keep it nice and short and sweet. I played Pokemon for a bit, sort of lost interest in it, even though I've got a Pokemon channel. After ADP, that was the last deck I played. Didn't play card game since that, and then saw Elestrals. Obviously, because Dan had his Pokemon YouTube channel, so I saw bits of Elestrals. Was humming and I can't speak, humming and hawing whether to dabble in it, have a go. He then announced Shattered Stars, and that is the thing what kind of got me into Elestrals. So I've been around since base set. I'm not very good at the game. I've got a couple of top cuts. I do have a second place finish as well, but that's before people played the game. So I think there was like 25 people in that tournament, but we'll take it.
To be fair though, any top cut is really a really good position to be in, right? Because I personally have had a top cut myself way back in base set days, where in a starter deck tournament I took fourth place with a Trifernal starter deck. So that's an accomplishment in and of itself because it was the considered at the time the worst starter deck of them all. So yeah, doing that, that's a nice feather in my cap. I've been around since the base set Kickstarter. No, I mean with Elestrals, I've been with it since the first Kickstarter for for the base set and stuff. Migrated throughout everything. Played, I was like I said, a top player for a little bit. Then I went into being on the judge side of things and been there ever since. And I also am really good at helping people to determine, what they want to do or whatever. I'm really good to bounce ideas off of, which is why we're doing this, right? I have over 30 years of experience in the card game industry, and that's to be fair, that gives me a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge towards how these types of games function and work. Although Illustrals, to its credit, does have some really interesting mechanics that haven't been seen before, right? And it's a really fun game. I really enjoy playing it. I just don't get to play it as often as I'd like to because of my other career, but that's a tale for another time. So as we're talking today, and we've said all of our experiences and whatnot, how are you guys feeling about the current iteration of the game and where we think it's going, right? With Sunstrike on the horizon. At the time of this recording, we've only seen a handful of Sunstrike cards, but it's really just not far off for us. So, but based upon live stream, which has been very controversial, as I understand it, how are we feeling about things?
Well, since Livestream came out, for us in the UK, me and Cayman are in the UK, so it took us a lot longer to get Livestream product here. Like, when it was released, our pre-release was on November 10th or something like that. Literally a month after the live stream cards had come out, which is absolutely
Right.
insane. It was still a great pre-post release. It was quite a big one, to be honest. Like at least 10, 12 people turned up from
Yeah, we had a good turnout.
from all over the UK, which is amazing. Half of us were ambassadors, which is even better.
That's a lot of fun.
But yeah, like from obviously not being a proper playtester and just having seen the cards and playing with proxies a lot, I didn't like the format personally. Like initially, like the Lockagon was just so oppressive and just boring to play and play against. For I just didn't have any interest. Like literally the only live stream tournament I participated in, I came second. So yeah, that's after 2 massive ban lists. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's after the ban list hit. But yeah, so see, I was sort of the opposite way around. So I like heavy combo decks. So when Livestream first came out, I really enjoyed the format. I think this helps for the same reason because I didn't play a Premier since May last year. So I just played casually, so people wasn't taking it as serious. So to me, I did have fun playing those decks. But after a couple of months, you start to get sick of seeing the same cards, and it's
Right.
you have the outs, and it was like Lockagon, you out them two, and then more Lockagons come out, and they got to a point where it was becoming pretty boring. So I think the ban list needed to happen. The first one was a bit of a mess, I'd say.
I'd say with a head scratcher for sure.
Yeah, they just banned the wrong things. Like I said in
Yeah.
my video, like the bat wasn't a problem; it was the
Yeah.
Lycan, which they then reversed it so the Lycan is now limited. Which so they eventually listened on that side, and then the Tadpole
Right.
stuff that needed to go. The Frostfall Lockagon needed to be limited, and it took them too long to do it. It's like it's a little too late, to be honest.
Right.
Like if we had this current ban list that we're at now towards the beginning of live stream, I think
Yeah,
it would have been insane.
I think the problem is now we're all pretty burnt out on live stream. We're starting to get the reveals of Sunstrike. Obviously, it's still 4 months away, and I feel like that's making the format now feel even more not boring, but you just want to play the new cards.
Right. So basically, what we're saying is that there's some format fatigue because it's going on for so long.
Yeah.
We're so used to, set that comes out, we play it for 2 or 3 months, then a new set comes out, and so on and so forth. It seems like with the live stream, we're going to be sitting on this one. That came out, October last year.
Yep.
It is now February at the time of this recording, and we're not going to get another new set until April, I believe
I
is,
think
right?
it's May.
It's May. May is going to be the pre-releases, I believe.
Right.
So
So
it's
now,
not going to be until mid-May until Sunstrike hits. So that's a
right,
long ass format.
that is a super long format. It's like over 6 months, and that format fatigue is really going to hit us hard, and I think that's what's affecting the community right now. I mean, there is hope. I mean, we're going to get the set eventually, but are we still going to see 3 sets this year because Sunstrike is going to be so late? And the one after that was set 8. I don't remember if we know the name of that one yet or not as of this recording, but I believe that one is going to be probably really short behind Sunstrike. So I don't think we're going to be sitting on Sunstrike very long.
I can't remember who it was, but I did see someone in the Discord say originally there was like, so we're aiming to get set 8 out in the normal time. So Sunstrike could be out for 3 or 4 months if it works out that it came out in
not
May.
less.
But then someone else replied and was like, we're just going to focus on getting Sunstrike out first and then going from there. So I feel like it could go either way.
Once the next set after Sunstrike ends, then that should be, in theory, the Divine Champions subsection of sets to be complete. I would have thought that they'd want to release that towards like September, so that in the new year, 2027.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. That would be the next iteration of whatever they're gonna do for like the little spice of the cards, whatever that may be.
Probably the Awakened block is going to be next.
Yeah, it'll be the Awakened Elestrals probably.
I call them blocks or arcs, as it were.
Yeah. Either one works fine for.
Because Divine Champions is going to be 4 sets, I believe. And we had 5 sets for the base set arc, right? Which was when Moonrise came out, that completed the base set arc because it gave us all the elements and all of their functional cards and everything, right? Power level was not changed very much between the 4 sets in the base set block, right?
Yeah, I think they were pretty equal on. Well, other than base set, like adding each of the elements kind of did give a little boost of power, but nothing too crazy. Like I think if anything, the Daybreak one was the craziest because it introduced a new mechanic, being Foretell.
Right.
So that was the only thing that really shook up the game. Moonrise wasn't that much of an impact, really.
It was mostly the increase of suppression.
Was that when the Web Up and Like Void came out? Or was that after?
Yeah, that was when
That was
Where But
after.
Like a Void came out, but that
Yeah.
was the original one.
Well, there was a Leica Void in Werepub combo in Moonrise, and it was again it was
Yeah.
not as impactful as we wanted it to be, and the whole Moonrise arc was predominant
Yeah, Lunar
lunar,
Aggro.
right? Very little of
Yeah.
the other elements were in there, and it was focused almost solely on suppression, which of course also Daybreak was almost solely focused on Foretell. So that was just a whole bunch of stuff, right? So we had the four sets from the base set arc, which was base set, Frostfall, Daybreak, and Moonrise. When that finished, we were in a pretty good spot, as I understand it. And then we got Divine Champions block and Firestorm. There's a lot I could say about Firestorm, but what I will say about it was underwhelming for me because fire is my chosen element, and I was on the playtest team for that, and I was just not happy with the choices that were made with that. Doesn't mean that I'm not. It doesn't mean that it was bad choices. It's just I wasn't happy with the choices because I thought they could have done better with it. A drive is
It was an increase in the power, but like cards
yeah,
that did come out weren't as impactful until later on down the
right,
line when people sort of iterated on certain combos like the bear bomb stuff. And
yeah.
I don't know what was really in early Firestorm, but the Spiders was a good, interesting deck.
Spider's a good fun deck. Artifact support got a huge bump in that set.
Yes, yes, the Argo stuff at Dallas and things like that, that came quite big. Oh, was Dallas
Right.
Moonrise? I can't remember. Well, either way, like Firestorm didn't feel as impactful as Livestream. Like Livestream was like, if you know the reference, turning it up to 11.
Yeah.
It was just insane. Like the difference in power.
The power jump, right? The
Yeah,
huge power jump
Yeah.
between the two sets because Firestorms was very similar to the power level that we left off with Moonrise in the base set block, right?
it was an increase,
Yeah.
but it wasn't such an increase that it was
Noticeable.
just ridiculous and unfun to play
Right.
in. Like, yeah, the bear bomb was annoying, but
Yep.
you had things to stop it. Like, if you main deck Panda Box, which most people was doing eventually, you got
Yeah.
a Gorgon's Gaze to stop the bear when it hits the board, and
Mhm.
things like that. Like, it was possible to deal with at least the one bear.
Right.
Not many people ran two
Mhm.
because it's a free cost that is just annoying.
Right.
Compare it to Livestream, where the bear bomb of Livestream was obviously the Lockagon.
Mhm.
Being a two cost that can easily flood the board was just stupid,
Right.
and it just felt way too overpowered for what the game wants to be
Right.
speed wise.
Was that not an intentional increase in power and speed though?
I believe that it was. I was on the playtest team for that one as well, and I believe that it was intentional increase in power because I think the feedback that was given from the player base, the community, if you will, was that they were uh, un unhappy, I guess, or just not feeling it for Firestorm, especially with Wind getting some interesting tech cards, but nothing really game breaking at the time. Now you look at some of those cards and you're like, oh my god, this was ahead of its time. But then we get Lifestream, which is like leaps and bounds ahead with speed and power and everything. And this is the format we're sitting on. I'm going to be on for a very long time. Um, so yeah, I think that
Yeah.
that's definitely a good critique and a right critique for what's going on, right? Now, uh, going into that,
Yeah.
we were talking about the ban list, right? With the Tartars list, with cards that were removed and cards that were limited and semi-limited and all that stuff. And how we felt that that was a good thing, I guess, in the live stream format. Let's I don't know. Let's talk a little bit more about that. I mean, what initially, I know we said that the original ban list that they did like 2 weeks before they did the emergency one was kind of like hit or miss. It was like, what are they thinking? What are they doing? Right. And then they did the emergency one and they hit like, what, a dozen cards or so?
They hit like at least 16, definitely.
Yeah. So, how are we feeling
Yeah,
about
they
that?
hit so many cards.
Well, yeah, the ban list, the ban list coming into live stream after playing it for a little bit, like that ban list, it didn't seem to hit the right cards. Like they would try to slow the game down, but failed because of the cards that they'd hit were like the wrong choices, and then it just made the iWooly deck just insanely
Right.
more powerful because it was spammable.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
But I get what they were trying to do with the Kinleo and Equilings because those cards are really slow at being able to cast themselves out and do Nexus shenanigans to be able to start destroying things. So they could have maybe stayed at 3 or maybe even down to 2 copies
Yeah.
with the bans that we've currently got, and I would be fine with it. I wouldn't be upset with that. But
Yeah.
the iWooly either had to go or be errated because it was just insane after everything got hit.
Yeah, I really had to go. That was a crazy card.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Lockergon Frostfall definitely needed to
Yeah.
disappear because that was insane. Limiting to 1 is fine.
Mhm.
It's basically killed the deck. Like you look at the conversion for the last tournament that was on when I came second, so the 93 player one.
Right.
Lots of people played the Lockergon, but it didn't convert into top 16 very well. Similar with the Chronodial. Like I tried the Chronodial list before anybody.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to try what can you take the Lockergon deck, but just take out the Lockergons and replace it with something else. I tried Chronodial, came first. I went like what was it, 4-1 in a Pixel and Bricks tournament,
Yeah.
and won some stuff. Mainly a signed Wasp Ivy by the Jackals himself, which is awesome. And yeah, it's a great card. It looks cool. But the Chronodial suffered from not being able to heal enough, and that was with 3 Ambrosias. That was before they hit it down to 2. So now it's not as impactful, and the ban list that it currently is at feels good. People want base Feroz to be limited. I can see that being absolutely fine.
Right.
And yeah, I think so far, currently, the ban list is okay.
Yeah, I think the ban list is good. I think it is just fatigue, which is making it feel
Feel bad, right? It feels bad.
not as.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say feel bad. It's just
Right.
like it's like meh. But I feel like everything that hits, they hit right.
And it's going to get worse and worse because we're just not going to get another set for like at least another month, maybe month and a half. So it's just so far ahead that it's
Yeah. So it's definitely feeling it. That's why I've been building decks that going back to decks actually that I was playing before that I just tweak a little bit for the environment, and I've been playing them and having a good time with that. You know, like I went back to my base set deck, which is Trifernal. I built a new bear deck. I built a Hermes deck, which I would never do normally because I am not that skilled a player, right? But I'm still trying, right? I'm finding different options, right? Going outside the box. I think that's what's going to keep it alive. But honestly, do we think we're going to lose community members over this, or is it just they're just going to take a break and come back when the new set
I
happens?
feel like people are going to take a break. They're going to look at the cards which are getting revealed. I am a little bit worried about some of the new cards though. So I feel like the break could convert into people dropping out. I think if live stream it was an intent to increase the speed and the power, I feel like this next set is going to be the same.
Right.
And this ban list happened probably when it was too late to change some of the cards in Sunstrike. So I feel like at the minute people will probably take a break. Obviously, there's Worlds coming up, so the people go into Worlds and still play. They'll look at the. Oh, go on, sorry. I think people will just look at the reveals and then go from there.
Right.
yeah, but like we've got this tournament coming up tomorrow for at time of recording, and there's going to be the last chance qualifier at Worlds itself, and then we don't know if we're getting another tournament between Worlds and Sunstrike release.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
And if we do, I don't think many people will turn up to it because
Right.
people are getting, like you say, it's set fatigue for the live stream
Yeah.
format. People are going to want to play Sunstrike because by Worlds, A-Drive has said that all the cards will have been revealed by then,
Sure.
and people are going to be able to get access to packs at Worlds.
Yeah.
So that means all the cards are going to have been completely finalized by them. But we won't get any actual physical product to be able to purchase from LGSs or things like that until like a month afterwards. Maybe 3 weeks to
It
a
might be
month
2 or 3
after,
weeks. Yeah.
after Worlds, which is crazy. Like we will know what all the cards are. Some people with third-party software will be able to play them
Yeah.
on those simulators.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just like right now, once they're all revealed, people are not going to want to play live stream. They're going to want to play Sunstrike there and then. People will either proxy or play on simulators, do whatever they want to be able to do it. And there's nothing you can do. Like if Clash, which is a whole other topic we could go into, if Clash was a properly functioning game with cards in them, putting the cards on the Sunstrike cards onto Clash
Right.
as Worlds finishes would be the smartest move known to man.
Right.
If he somehow like his gigahead galaxy brained this, like, oh, we're not having any updates for Clash, and then all of a sudden Worlds finishes and boom,
every card's
all
there.
these cards are in Clash, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
extremely unlikely. I'll take 1,000 to 1 odds on that. Well, millions to 1. Let's take a Dark Viper AU quote from there. It's millions to 1.
Right. Well,
That's going to happen.
let's take a step back then and take a look at Clash. Right. We all familiar with it. We all familiar with the original app that was put out. That was the Sandbox app, which was a lot of fun to do, but it was kind of clunky as well. For people who are not familiar with Clash, right, or are looking for more information about that, let's just talk about what's wrong with it right now. I mean, obviously it's not complete. We already know that, and there are some people who are very adamant that it's still a good experience, right? But in our experience, how are we feeling about the Clash scenario? And then maybe even let's talk a little bit about Awakening. Those are the two of the newest digital versions of Elestrals that we know of, right? So how are we feeling?
Yeah, like the original app that people use that was available on mobile as well as PC through like BlueStacks and things like that. It was full of security issues, but that was kind of irrelevant to the casual player. Playing it was it was fine. I won't say it was great.
It did its job, didn't it? Yeah, it did its job.
Yeah, it did the job of being able to play the cards digitally. Other than the fact that every time it got updated, the buttons seemed to move around. That was the biggest gripe I had. Like the destroy button would get moved from its usual section you've been playing with it all set, and then the next update, it's now moved one slot higher, so you're accidentally clicking the wrong button. And it's like, why change something like that when you're just adding cards? Like, come on, why?
Well, I mean, in my experience, because I've been recently dabbling in programming apps and things like that, right? Have a healthy slate, as it were, clean slate, foundation, whatever. You want to have all of that healthy and ready to go before you start messing with GUI, right, or graphic user interface to the layman, right? So before you start adding graphics or whatever, you need to have a solid infrastructure, right? And it seems to me, based on the little bit that I've done with Clash, is that that's not there. The infrastructure really isn't there. It's not solid because that's why you're missing a lot of the cards, you're missing a lot of the effects and a lot of the things. And like you said, the user interface keeps changing where they're moving buttons around and changing the way the game functions on a user level, right? So that
That was for the old APK file.
Yeah.
Like Clash itself, they don't actually move things around.
Right.
Clash itself, the
Oh, okay.
current Steam version,
Right.
visually,
Yeah.
it looks nice.
Yeah, it does look good.
Can't say it doesn't look nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's very Master Duel-esque
Mhm.
in a way, but then also has the original Pixelborn Lorcana style of card
Sure.
imagery, which for Lorcana worked absolutely fine. But sometimes it's hard to tell whether you've got something in attack or defense, on whether something is properly enchanted or not. Because we're not using actual card images, we're using like just the condensed artwork with some small borders to them. So that is a gripe I have. But the main issue I have is card availability. There is a spattering of different cards from all the different sets that are in Clash, and you just don't have a set strategy. Like if you want to run Trifernal, for example, well, good luck, you can, because Blazerus doesn't exist. Trifernal doesn't exist, but the Necroth
Right.
exists. So you've got parts of strategies, and you can't mix them together, and it's just really, really
Right.
annoying.
Yep.
Like it took them for the longest time to get Temple of the Moon into the game when they had all of the other stadiums already
Right.
created. So it's like something is going wrong somewhere in the pipeline of them creating the game.
Yep.
So the way I'd always said it, like over and over again in the Elestrals general chat, is that it should have been a manual simulator first, with all the cards up to date,
Right.
with everything released so far that we know of in the game, so you could play it manually, and then have it beta tested for the automatic side of the simulator.
So going back to my
Yeah.
original thought, which is that lay a solid foundation and build on top of it.
Yeah, because then from then they could slowly wean out the manual simulator side once they have nailed down the automatic side. Because then they could just work in the background of right,
Yep.
we've got the game, it works, you can play it manually. Let's just try and smash these card effects, get them working in automatic, and then like release all of base set into the automatic simulator and let people go nuts with base set format.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think they should have focused on base set first, then moved to Frostfall. I know they tried to look at doing the meta cards first, as they said, which is fine. But me, for a personal preference, I wanted to use Clash as something to build silly decks and try silly decks for videos and stuff like that. Like I did a Phosphor Cell video on it. I didn't want to go into Clash and face against Locagon or Majersa at the time when that was the only thing played.
And that's currently how it is now.
Yeah.
Locagon is unhit on the ban list there.
That's what I mean. Locagon's still there. Yeah.
So it is the most played deck, and it's just it's boring, and it doesn't help that right now, because of the state of the game that it's in, only 3 to maybe 4 people actually play it daily, which is really, really bad.
Yeah,
Right.
it's been a disaster, and that's the probably nicest word I could use at the minute.
The thing I would say, it's a comedy of errors, right? Where there's stuff that works and it works brilliantly. And then there's the stuff that kind of sort of works. And then there's the stuff that click this thing and then nothing happens and then it crashes and I lose.
Yeah, when it works, it's fine.
Yeah. I think there's something going on behind the scenes. I don't know what that is, but obviously there's something going on. Because we've not had an update to Clash in 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
As of this recording.
Was it November?
The last update was the last update was like towards the end of November, if I remember correctly. There was meant to have been a big update, quote unquote, big update at the end of December. That never came. It was brought up to Dan in one of the chats. Like he was asked about it, about Clash, and he said that there's not going to be an update in January either, and that something is happening behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. So there should be some public record out there, but I'm not going to go dig for that because I really don't want to be that guy, right? It's like I just want to enjoy the game and have a good time, except for the fact that I can't enjoy it the way that I want to, because Clash doesn't work how I think it should, or as best as it could. I think we're just getting the
Yeah.
best that we can get out of it right now. Now, then also, we just had a Kickstarter last year for the RPG, quote unquote, Awakened,
Awakened, yeah.
which I believe it looks okay. It definitely brings back nostalgic feels about earlier Pokemon or Zelda or anything like that
Yeah.
game with the pixel imagery and stuff. And as I understand it, because I haven't personally played it, as I understand it, it plays a lot like a Pokemon game
Yeah.
and gives you a lot of that feel, which is awesome. I think that's pretty cool. Personally, it's not my style of game, but it's definitely something. I do believe I don't know, Cayman. You haven't played it, right?
I played it for a bit. I haven't played it as much as Astro. Um, I have played it enough to understand what it is, and I actually do think this has got real potential. The amount I have played, I have actually really enjoyed my time on there. Obviously, I've come from a Pokemon background where shiny hunting's a big thing, but I've been pretty. Again, it might just be me getting fatigued at everything, but I've been kind of getting bored of shiny hunting on Pokemon. So I was a bit like, would I enjoy Awakened with the Stellar hunting? Jumped on after seeing Astro stream it, and honestly, I've had so much fun playing it.
Oh, okay.
So far, obviously, because it's extremely bare bones, it's just areas, there's no story.
Yeah, I
Very
really enjoyed it.
few caster battles, as it were. But the most fun part of it, if you concentrate, is the stellar hunting aspect of
Right.
it, like finding the stellar Elestrals in
Right.
the wild and then
Yep.
not seeing it or failing to capture it is the greatest part.
So my assessment was pretty much on point then, I guess, from your point of view.
Yeah, the whole chain mechanic is really nice.
Yeah, it plays amazing. Despite everything else, it honestly it plays amazing for
Yeah.
just that aspect. And like it takes maybe about 1 hour to find one stellar, unless you are extremely lucky and find full odds random stellar Elestrals
Yeah,
just
which
in
you
the
have.
wild.
I've not found any which have been over the 1 in 10.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's an average, though, right? That you find it in an hour. That's an average. That depends upon you actually have to be grinding to get that,
But
right?
yeah, if you're actively stellar hunting one Elestral and you're reducing the odds as you do through
Yeah.
the game mechanics and things like that. Eventually, after about an hour's worth of play, you will
Yeah.
be at a 1 in 10 chance of finding the stellar of the Celestial you are hunting.
Mm.
So it is about 1 an hour, unless you find full odds, which can happen. My first 4 hours of playing, I found what 4, 5 stellars, and so far I've missed 3 because of being either completely blind in one section, and 2 others,
No.
one it killed me, which was really annoying and upsetting.
Yeah.
I believe even 2. I've missed 2 more actually because recently in my last stream that I did, I went out of a cave to reset an encounter, and there was a stellar mudlet there, and I went straight back into the cave and missed it,
Oh,
and I got really upset.
I bet. So from what I've understand, because I've seen some gameplay of it, and I watched you play some games and whatnot. It looks a little yeah, like I said, like a Zelda-esque type thing or a Pokemon type game from like the late 90s, early 2000s, right? So it gets that nostalgia value. But my only thing is, and I'm sure that this is just a nitpick, right? Is that the Elestrals are not the sizes that they should be. Like, the bug Elestrals, like the Nimbug and or whatever. I don't know if that's in the game, but I'm saying those guys are supposed to be like the same size of a person's hand, and they're like the same size as the dude. And then of course you got the Pantera, which is supposed to be one of the largest Elestrals out there, and it's the same size as the dude. So no, I don't understand. I know it's a pixel limit and all that stuff, and just make everything fit inside a specific, frame in the game itself. But that's just a nitpick of mine.
It may be a nitpick, but if you've ever played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you could understand why they would never go that route. Scarlet and Violet was it was basically cancer to play, because there are some extremely tiny Pokemon that you would just accidentally run into because of the details in the grass, and you would never see them until all of a sudden you're in a battle, and it's like, well, where the hell did this come from?
Right. No, I get that. Yeah.
So these being these sizes, yes, it's obviously to do with the pixel artwork itself, but it doesn't detract from the immersion of the game itself.
Right.
Like, it still feels nice to play.
Mhm.
The mechanics so far, like, we don't even have the abilities in the game yet. Like, that's coming in the proper alpha eventually, whenever that's going to be.
Yeah.
And
we haven't announced it yet.
It's looking good so far. Like, through breaking into the game through like Unity and stuff like that, and looking at the inner workings of it, it's set up to be a really good, detailed game.
So I'm just gonna say this about it. I mean, like, fingers crossed that it actually crosses the threshold into full production and is able to be published.
I mean, I've heard it from some people that have got worries about the game, and that are kind of like leaving the game, then thinking of coming back, and then certain cards get hit on a ban list, and then they leave again. But right now, it is in one of those awkward situations. Like, it depends on what we see coming up. Like, Awakened is definitely going to bring players in, but it's not going to bring necessarily TCG players, which is what the game is currently mainly based around.
Right, it's focused on that. That should be the main focus, but I understand why he's branching out in other directions, because he wants a digital version of the game, which is awesome, because then you can play with your friends all around the world, because that's generally I play digitally with you guys because I can't do it in person, obviously, because I'm located in the United States and you're located in the United Kingdom. So, we have to find other ways to do it. And I think if Clash actually was the game that we are expecting it to be at this point, we would be having a lot more fun with that. And as you mentioned earlier, there are a plethora of third-party game systems out there for digital gameplay, and if you look hard enough, you'll find them. But we are, involved in the community. As I was saying earlier, I am involved in the tournaments scene, and I see a lot of players there, and it's growing slowly, but it's also shrinking at the same time, which is kind of weird, because we have the ebb and flow of players.
Yeah, we saw that mainly with Firestorm. Like, Firestorm hit the tournament player cap at least twice, and then when Livestream hit, it lost 50 players. It went down to about 70.
Right.
But saying that, the latest ban list with the last tournament bumped it up to 90 players. So it is dependent on the format. Like, people have enjoyed this current iteration of the ban list the most in Livestream so far. Like, 20 plus more players joining is insane. Like, that's quite a jump. That's nearly a 50% jump if you think about it.
Yeah, unless you want to pay us, and then we'll do it.
So, as I understand it, though, you look at last tournament. Last tournament was pushing 90 players at the start.
Yeah, it was 93 players in the tournament that I played in, and then the previous one before that was, I want to say, 75 to 71, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, it was the high 70s, I want to say. It was high 70s, maybe low 80s, but I can't remember for sure. But the thing is that, yeah, we're hitting good numbers again, and thanks to the community members who have started joining in the tournaments that weren't before. But also remember, we're losing a lot of those players, the top players, to various other things, like, again, format fatigue, the fact that they're gearing up for Worlds, or their personal life schedules have changed and they're no longer able to participate. Whatever factors are involved in that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound a lot, but for the
World is in March, I want to say. Yes.
Yeah, March. Mid-March.
Yeah, mid-March.
That's about as much as I can remember off my top of my head.
So that's a thing that's going on, and Plus, we've got the Last Chance tournament right before that. All kinds of stuff happening. But we're gonna just have to wait and see where things land as far as the whole of Elestrals is, right? There's a lot of really fun stuff coming, a lot of really fun stuff, happening. I will say this about Elestrals, okay? All the problems, all the issues, all the things we can complain about, all the things we can talk about Elestrals, right? All of those things that happen, right? All of it, everything, right? The one thing I can say is the fact that I've made some really good friends because of Elestrals, because of the community itself, right? I wouldn't have met you guys without it. I wouldn't have met, some of the other people that I talk to on a daily basis without it. So there is that. The community itself is probably one of the best card game communities out there because, for the most part, the majority of people are very welcoming and very pleasant to hang around with and talk to, and just you know be around, right? Because without it, I would not have stuck it out. I wouldn't have stuck Elestrals out now, because I reached a point with it where at one point where I'm just kind of like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. But I keep getting pulled back in by the people that I know who are super excited about it, or who just want to play the game, or whatever reasoning behind it. And because of that, I'm still here and I'm still helping out with tournaments. I no longer play test, but I think that might have been a blessing in disguise when that ended for me, because I've been able to do a lot more with my own design work and stuff, which I take very seriously. And of course,
Me and Cayman would never have known each other because I
yeah,
joined in the voice chat once, talking to one of the mods who were helping me like learn the game, and he said that I sounded like this other player, and I ever spoke to him. It's like, do I know him? It's like, I have no idea who you're talking about. So that mod then DMs Cayman. Cayman joins into the voice chat, and it's like, holy shit, we live like
Yeah,
right.
that was so weird. That
30 miles away from each other. It's like, what are the odds of
yeah, we got the
that?
same postal code.
With like, especially with at the time in base set Frostfall, it was like maybe 10 people in the entirety of the UK played Elestrals.
Yeah, there was not many people. That's
So
all.
the odds of us being that close, like physically, and even more so now, is insane. Like, it's unlikely. Like, you'd get it if you went to locals a lot, but I don't have a locals in my city. But there is in 30 miles in every direction away from me, which is funny. So it just happened to
Yeah.
be random luck, and I've just always been in the chat ever since, and it's the community. It's not maybe not community is not the right word. It's like the acquaintances and friends that you make. Like it's brought me talking to Americans, which I'd never talk to normally, because they are far away. Like you don't normally in your everyday life talk to them. Well, as a UK person, anyway. I know Americans talk to Americans all the time, but
No, we don't. We avoid that if at all possible.
yeah, I assume you avoid it as much as possible. But yeah, it's just we all talk to. It's basically a global thing. We all talk to everybody from around the world. There's Australians.
Well, there's people all over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's Australians. There's Germans. There's people from the UK. We've got Wales people, which they are definitely not human. Then there's
There was a regional
Americans.
somewhere really
I
random.
think we got a few Dutch. We got
It's
we
mad.
yeah. It's all over, and that's
Yeah.
great. And I love that.
Yeah,
So
it's bringing us all together, and hopefully we'll eventually all meet up one day. Maybe when Worlds is in the EU, because it'll be cheaper for us.
or when Worlds is in a place that all of us can afford to go to. How about that?
Yeah, a webcam Worlds.
Yeah, webcam.
That's like the only one we can afford.
Yeah, yeah, that will work. Well, we never know. We don't know what the future holds and whether or not there will be another Worlds. But let's get through this first one before we actually worry about that.
What's everyone's thoughts on how they've allowed stores to run regionals with not having a minimum amount of players?
It is one of those things, isn't it? Like we both watched that video by
Yeah,
was it an Australian guy?
it was.
I can't remember his name. It's either I don't want to get his name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. but he was going through the different regionals that had happened throughout the world, and there was quite a few that had 2 people turn up.
Yeah. So I think he said
What
there
was
was
it? Was
70.
it 20% of them had less than 4 players?
Yeah, it was like 26%. So I think there was like 73 regionals, and then like 22 of them had 4 or less players.
That's just mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been mishandled. I think it's the wording is scaring a lot of stores as well. Like when you hear the word regionals, you think, oh shit, everyone from the entirety of the UK is going to turn up, or the entirety of North America is going to turn up, because that's what usually a regionals means.
Yep.
But
So
in Elestrals' case, it's more of a state by state sort of thing. Like it should have just been called the state championship, essentially, because that's what it turns out to be. Because you've not got people from, let's say, the East Coast turning up to a West Coast regionals, because why would they?
right. Well, was there no regional in the European market with UK or any...
Yeah, we had. I think we had 2 or 3.
There was 2 regionals. One of them had 3 people that turned up, and to try and promote them to get more people to try and get to that event, they were putting up the Stellar Champion Centaba as Friday, and still only 3 people turned up. So out of those 3, one of them won a $2,000 card,
right?
Which is insane.
Which is crazy, yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but the main one that we go to in Sheffield, called Patriot Games, that sees probably the most in the entirety of the UK, and maybe
we see a lot more. So this is another thing. So when we played the Premier a couple of weeks ago, where you finished second, I always thought the stores in America was doing okay, but a lot of people were saying even in America they're struggling to get more than 3 or 4 people. So I feel like our locals, which we can get 6 every week easy, is more than most locals in America. But for our regionals, we had 8, but we had a lot of regulars still missing. So
I couldn't attend it because of it was too early in the day.
Yeah,
because it takes me an hour to get there, and it was at like 10 a.m. and having a child makes it really difficult to be able to get there in time for that.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next one they don't do it early, but they have really weird opening times at our regions.
Yeah.
Like their Saturday, they only open until 5 p.m. Where during the week they'll stay open till like 10 p.m.
Oh yeah,
which makes no sense. Like, why would you not stay open late on a Saturday?
That's crazy.
But
it makes no sense.
I get the whole thing. So I don't know how much of it was thought through from Elestrals, but I get that if you watch that video, which was made by I'll say his name. It's Cobalt. There's a lot
of Cobalt.
Yeah, there's a lot of places in America which didn't have a regional, and I get they didn't want to punish the people who didn't have the player bases around them. But it's just not fair if someone's going to a regional event with 10 people. Because I know a lot of the top players go to the same ones, so that's a lot harder to win. You get 75 points to winning, and then you've got someone at the other end of America playing against the friend. There's 2 of them. One of them gets 75 points, the other gets 50. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's very unbalanced, and I think it's more the LGSs don't want to host something that sounds like it's going to be a massive turnout of people. Like, if you've got a store that can maybe hold 50 people, you don't want to be hosting a regionals, which sounds like it could hold at least 100 people turn up to it, or even more. It just sounds ridiculous. So it needs to have a name change, like optics-wise. It just sounds bad. It's like the store open was more of what you would call a regional, because people from all over America turned up to the CAD. Was it CAD HQ?
I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah. So that made more sense as being a regional.
Yeah.
So why would so then going with that logic, right? We had the opens, the Dallas Open and the Kissimmee Open, right? Those were more regional based. If you ask me, I think those were regional events over just a random pop-up event, right?
Yeah,
I think they turned out to be more international. Well, maybe not fully international, but we had people from the UK actually turn up to those and play. I mean, Kissimmee, a guy from the UK, actually won the damn thing. So
Right.
that one turned out to be more of an international event, like
Right.
as in Pokemon terms. And like the Cards HQ Open was more of a how I would feel as a regional because I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
believe anyone from the UK actually went to that
No.
one. I don't
Am I
think.
right in saying as well the people who won them opens didn't get a Worlds invite?
Correct. It was before the World Qualifier points was
Right.
announced.
Yeah, that was pre Worlds format setup, right? And after Kissimmee is when he actually announced how Worlds was going to work. Actually, I think he announced it at Kissimmee. That was how Worlds was going to work and how regional points were going to work and how you were going to get points and qualify and all that fun stuff. So there's that. So yeah, I just think that maybe he'll learn from it and reformat stuff after the Worlds happens and move forward from there. What do we think about Shattered Stars, right? Because we, up until December of last year, which was 2025, it was a subscription program. And then once January 1st hit, it was no longer available because he took it off the subscription plan and is planning on doing something else with it. Do we have any thoughts on what that's going to look like?
And yeah, this is a really weird one. So I mentioned earlier, Shattered Stars is the first product I bought from Elestrals. And it's by far my favourite thing to open, or it was until obviously they've stopped doing it.
Right.
Because I love different artworks, love the full arts and stuff. But I don't
Sure.
get what the reason is behind this because I feel like everybody, or should I say, most people, bought Shattered Stars.
I assume Shattered Stars would be one of the most profitable
Yeah,
products because it's a subscription based. So anybody that's forgot about their subscription is usually going to be like,
yeah, they just
oh
get
well,
yeah,
I've paid for my subscription.
yeah,
I'm going to get some free. I'm going to get some packs for it. It's fine. I'll cancel
yeah,
it next time. And people were ordering absolutely an ass ton
yeah, crazy
of
amounts. Yeah,
product from it.
Right.
Yeah, it was annoying to get just a billion commons, but yeah, getting all these commons, you gave them out at locals. Like you'd give me playset of the commons. I was after the artwork for the spirits currently in the last one because it's felt artwork because I collect
Oh
the
yeah,
Play-Doh
yeah,
artwork
yeah.
for Pokemon and the crochet artwork in Pokemon. So it was just another thing to add to my list, which I still need the Thunder ones off you. Don't forget. But yeah, it feels like it should have been the most profitable, but something behind the scenes must be going on where it's an issue. Like maybe their new manufacturer in America didn't want to have to do that, or something along those lines. It just feels kind of weird to like get rid of it all of a sudden and not like complete out the Divine Champions
Yeah.
block.
Yeah, that could be it. It could be a production issue.
The thing is, it's one of them things as well where they can be like, right, I know the money they'll make is different each month, but they can look and be like, right, next month we're definitely making between this and this because of Shattered Stars.
Right. Well, maybe they're rolling some of that stuff that was supposed to be in the Shattered Stars months that we don't have of January and February of this year, 2026, right? Um, Maybe they're rolling it into Tournament Pack 5 or Premier Pack or into the Premier Packs or something, right? That artwork anyway. Not just, not the fact that, we're just missing the Shattered Star stuff. Maybe they're going to do that. Or maybe, it'll come back in some new way later in the year. Some people would say that it's a sign.
I just had a thought about like
Mm,
how Pokemon do a trainer toolkit sort of section box,
right.
which has a bunch of like
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it comes as a playset or maybe just one copy of some like key cards in the game.
No,
So maybe they're going to do something like that. Like
no,
it
maybe.
would be a big box, but
yeah.
it wouldn't make them as much money as what Shattered Stars would. So it kind
Right.
of
It just
doesn't
seems
make
weird.
sense in some
Yeah.
ways.
Well, because also what I was going to say was the fact of it. Some people would read that as a sign of the times of, oh, Shattered Stars is going away. And they're decreasing the tournament packs down to 2 cards instead of 3. They're switching manufacturers frequently. Almost every set they switch manufacturers. And it's like the question you have to ask yourself when you see all of these things is what is going on. We don't know. We're not privy to any inside information from Elestrals at this time, but all we have is speculation and a lot of vehemence, I guess. But I worry when I see those things, right? But I'm hopeful that it's a sign of something better to come.
Yeah, I think the worst
So,
thing is though is when they say something like that. So they announced Shatterstars were ending 1st of January, but then there's just
mm,
no update. There's not
right.
there's not even a little bit of information to follow up.
Well, we've gotten a lot less.
Yeah, like the lack of information kind of
Right.
hurts. Like, I know we can't be fully transparent with some things, but then it would be nice to at least have a
Yeah,
tidbit of something rather than just a blanket
Right.
yeah, we'll tell you
no
later.
comment sort of thing. It don't feel very nice. Like, trust in the community.
You guys remember way back in the beginning, right? You guys remember back in the beginning, right? Where it's like you couldn't
Yeah,
go a day without an update from A Drive,
Yeah.
right? Not an update. It's like every day. It's almost every day, every other day, once a week, whatever. Now we're lucky if we get a video from him once or twice a month, if that. I mean, I don't think there's been a new video from him since the band video.
he's got a new channel, hasn't he? Though he started a new Elestrals
Right.
one.
Yeah, there is a new Elestrals channel called Norby, which he's been uploading dev
Well,
updates to Awakened
right.
on. But then his content of like
Mhm.
showing Sunstrike sort of stuff, he sort of like outsourced it to, is it K Cray who does the voiceover for it?
Yeah, it was K Cray
Yeah,
that did the last one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
that was the first look we got for Sunstrike, and I think it was really good production quality. I actually enjoyed that video over a overhyped A Drive who's had too much caffeine.
yeah.
Because it was subtle, it was stated, it was direct to the point, scripted. It told us exactly what they wanted us to know, and that's exactly how it should be, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. However, the the cards were revealed and shown too quickly, so you'd have to
Yeah,
pause the video, read the card effect, and then
right.
unpause it. And
Oh yeah,
I believe the way A Drive used to do it is like he'd announce the card and then read the card to you and explain a combo with it, or like cards that will go
yeah,
with it.
Yeah.
And that just felt really, really nice. Like, it's a bit more of a
right,
personal touch because it's from the developer of the game rather than
right,
just someone like K Cray or whoever would be the next one, PK or MBT,
right.
whoever would be just
Whoever the
explaining
commentator
that
is going to
these
be there, right?
cards, the card name is coming out. It's a fiery guy with flames coming out of his anus or whatever, and then moves on to the next card. Like, just
Right,
it's basically just playing catchphrase, like say what you see, and not
right.
actually explaining stats, effects, what elements it in,
Well,
anything like that. And it just
and I think that
it feels more of like an advert than it does an actual reveal of the cards.
yeah, and I think that because if you look at first look stuff for like movies and TV shows and whatnot, that's exactly how they are, right?
Yeah, but with a lot more Inception bombs.
Right. But when we're talking about movies and TV, we're talking about a different medium, and that's fine. But generally speaking, it's just a highlight. It's a highlight reel, is all it really is, right? And so this first look is exactly that, a highlight reel, right? So maybe the next one will be a little bit more in depth. Hopefully, we won't know until that comes out. So that's our thoughts on the Lestrals at this time. Welcome back to the Divine Council. If you were with us before, if not, I hope that this is a regular thing and that you guys will get to stick around and we'll be talking more Lestrals in the future. And so, any final words before we head out?
I think the best thing to say is like just find us on our socials. I mean, my YouTube channel, Astro's Night. It's Astro with an S at the end, and then Night, as in an old timey Knight's Tale sort of night. I try to upload deck videos as much as possible. It's getting a little bit slower at the minute, just because of lack of players to play against. It's kind of an issue. I don't have an easy target anymore because they kind of quit the game. No shade thrown whatsoever. But yeah, so I do those. I do the reveals of the cards. I'll look into them, as well as playing Awakened and live streaming it whenever I get chance.
Well, we can find you on YouTube. We can find Cayman on YouTube, and you can find me where fine books are sold. Thank you guys for being here with me today and having this lovely conversation. And we will see you next time.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed this program. If you'd like to know more about Elestrals or any of the topics we've discussed today, just click any of the links in the description and it will take you to the various different locations to learn about Elestrals and the people that made it. Also, if you'd like to support us, you can just click one of the other links in the description. That will take you to our Patreon page, which is a small donation, can get you behind the scenes content and other fun things that we're planning to do in the future. If you'd like us to support us in another way, just go ahead and like, share, subscribe again, and thank you for listening. We hope you have a fantastic day.